Oye, mi gente. Welcome back to my Nono Live and Direct. I'm hyped tonight. Super hyped tonight. Oh my God. I got to take a second to relax. Welcome back to my Nono Live and Direct. Thank you for coming back. Subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment. I'm hype. Listen, first of all, y'all know I'm from Massachusetts, from Worcester, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston, about 30 minutes out. So I just got done watching the Celtics whoop on them Pacers. It was a good game, though. They had my heart. Ooh, I was hyped. I might even broke a couple things. Hopefully, wifey don't find out about that. Right? Golly, man. Yo. Listen, on this channel, we're not going to talk other sports than boxing and MMA, right? But what a game. What a game. I don't know another team that's come back from a 3-0 in the conference finals. I don't think it's ever happened. Matter of fact, I'm almost 100% positive that has never happened. So looks like Boston's coasting to finals. Hopefully a victory, man. They got two very, very good Western teams, man. I don't know. It's gonna be a close one, though, right? Oh man, here we are again, right? Here we are again, talking about Ryan Garcia. Listen, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, right? I see a lot of content, right, being, created over this story, and I don't see at any point this ending anytime soon. There's just more to come. You just have to know that, all right? You got to know that. And you know what? For a little while, right? I've been trying to not go the conspiracy theory route, right? Because I believe in due process, and things come out as time goes on. If there's a good investigation that happens, eventually the truth comes out. And you know what? I'm going to keep it real. Tonight, I'm actually going to kind of go a little left with it, because normally we go right with it, right? Because we're content creators. We don't want to be flagged. We don't want to be put out there like, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist, right? Right? I mean, but tonight I'm gonna give my true feelings about this. All right, y'all gonna get the real, true feelings, how I feel about it. If the Haneyacks get crazy with me about it, whatever, fraud Haney. I'm attacking you. Now I have to, right? Because this all seems suspect from the beginning. I've been saying, without having to say outright, that this whole testing thing, it just don't make no sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, this is true. I don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, just think about it logically, guys. This kid, Ryan, right? I have no attachment to him. I don't know the guy. I've never spoken to him in my life. Nothing. There's no connection there for me to have his back the way I'm about to have his back, right? Or the way I've kind of been, kind of rooting for the guy. Like, I don't believe he did it. I don't, right? And I'm going to be real with you. I'm just saying it. And we've already said it, right? Victor Conte being involved in this, him and his snack company. I mean, maybe I think the reason why the newer age sports fans are kind of going with this is because I don't think they remember the Victor Conte from the time of his problems in the MLB and other athletes as well. Right. But I mean, if you guys just do your research, it's all over the internet. Right. If you just do your research, you'll find out this guy is not a credible guy to be listening to. He shouldn't be involved with any testing agency since he's like the godfather of steroids. Right. He just shouldn't be. It's plain and simple. And oh, God, I have to give you the raw me on this because I just, when I believe something, and I believe it strongly, I go with my heart on it, right? And I haven't done that because there wasn't enough facts out there. But you know what? At this point, I don't believe we're gonna have like real solid facts until it's all drawn out. You know what I'm saying? Like we get certain things here and glimpses of things here and there and glimpses of things on this side. Really what's going on here is the boxing world. A matter of fact, let's even go wider with it this time. The world is divided on this. I mean, you got people who are not even boxing fans. You're not even boxing fans, and you're commenting on this stuff. Like, you have no idea the testing process. You have no idea who VADA is or who WADA is, or, you hear something that a content creator tells you, and you go with that instead of doing your own research and getting your own, idea of what's really going on here, and you just follow a narrative. And we're gonna get into that word, the narrative, right? Because that's what I believe is going on here, and I kind of been saying it without saying it. There's a narrative. There's a narrative going on here, and to be honest with you, I don't think it has to do. It's not on. As a matter of fact, let me not say I don't think. I know it doesn't have to. It's not on. It's not on Ryan's side. This kid's defending himself, right? And when you look at some of the things that have been said by Victor Conte, right, and then you look at some of the things that Bill Haney has said, right? Listen, I don't believe. Listen, there could be coincidences, right? There could be a coincidence. One. Too many coincidences. It just doesn't, you know what I mean? It just doesn't line up. You have to start asking questions at this point, right? And it's odd that there's a campaign. There's a full-blown campaign for the downfall of Ryan Garcia, full-blown, assassination of his character. And it's all on Devin Haney's side, right? And we're going to get into it because, and I know that I've mentioned this in my older videos, right? Well, excuse me, maybe a couple weeks back or maybe a month back at this point. But it's the truth. It's the truth. And we're gonna revisit it. Every time something new comes out, I'm going to make sure that I revisited what I said. So there's no way you guys can come back and say, he's switching up. No. We ain't doing that. Right? At the end of the day, I've been said, I thought it was strange. I thought it was very strange that Bill Haney and Devin Haney at the weigh-ins, and go back in my catalog and watch the older video. I said it. I thought it was very strange that they even made a bet with Ryan Garcia, calling him a fat boy, right? I thought it was very, very strange that they made a $500,000 bet in the first place, right? And if you guys, for y'all who didn't catch it, I replayed it, right? So go check it out. Ryan didn't make the bet. Bill Haney's big mouth from a side of his son is the one who said, bet 500, you don't come in overweight, fat boy. Those were his words exactly. Ryan got up and lifted his shirt at the press conference, right? He said, all right, I'll bet you. Then his dad said, Ryan, chill out. Right? Don't go crazy. What are you doing? He said, Dad, I got it. Then, right? Then Derek James says to Ryan, actually looks over Ryan, says to Bill Haney, his father said no. Right? Ryan's still talking to his father like that. I got it. Devin Haney says, up it. 500,000 a pound. I thought it was very odd that they even knew to make that bet from the beginning. Ryan's a fucking, you know what I mean? He's a hothead, right? He's not totally, like he's actually not a dumb guy at all, but he's quick to defend himself. He's quick to be like, oh, what? I got you. No problem. We'll make that bet because he was confident, right? I think, I'm going to just be real with you. I think that on both sides, right? Because I'm going to be a little fair. I'm not going to totally, dig in on Haney, but I think on both sides there were games played here, right? And now either side's not going to admit this. They're not. You know what I mean? And I just thought it was, like, again, I thought it was odd they made the bet. And I thought it was even odder that, you know what, Ryan Garcia knows you're a professional, Ryan. You know whether you're going to make weight or not, right? But even if that's the case, that Ryan knew he wasn't going to make weight, right? he had a contingency there. He said, all right, cool. I'll pay you the money. Devin, Bill, you took the money. You renegotiated terms. At that point, there is no more talking. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like, there is no more talking. I'm sorry, there isn't. But you got a whole campaign of dudes like Timothy Bradley, Bill Lampley. Who else has spoken on your behalf? George Kambosos. I mean, we can go on for days of people who are divided in this situation, right? You got Victor Conte, who nobody should be listening to in the first place. He's a bum, right? He's a bum. He shouldn't be in sports. Period. He's banned from all sports but boxing. Gee, what a coincidence that is. There's coincidence number one, right? It's the only sport they allow him in is boxing. You understand? Like come on, man. Anyway, right? You took the money. You took it. So when your boy, Bill, Devin, when you got beat up the way you did, you can't talk weight after. And mind you, right? That's another thing. I almost forgot to mention this. There's a new documentary out. Is that how you say it? Documentary. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. There's a new one out called Secrets Under Secrets, right? It's the deception, the deception, the Haney deception. Secrets Under Secrets. Go watch it. Go. I want everybody who's watching this to go look that up on YouTube and watch it. Now, I'm not saying what I'm saying because I saw that. I've actually done my homework in this whole thing. And I've actually held back some because it wasn't confirmed what I was thinking. But there were a lot of things I've been talking about that were confirmed. So we're just going to keep going, right? The weight thing shouldn't have been talked about after. And it was immediately after, right? You see, again, we're gonna go back. The first person to say they wanted to kill somebody was Big Mouth Bill Haney. We're gonna put him in a box. We're gonna retire him from boxing. I'm sending my boy in there to kill this man. You remember that, Bill? Of course you do. Of course you do. You have to, right? Unless you have Alzheimer's or something. It doesn't seem like it, right? So you're the first one that made the threat. I seen Timothy Bradley in an interview talking about and Zab Judah and how ironic that is, right? Because Zab is the godfather of Devin Haney, literally. That's his godfather. So you guys are talking about Ryan literally said he was going to kill him, right? But Bill said it first. Ryan's just defending himself. He's like, you know what? I'm actually going to go in there and kill this boy myself. I'm not going to just let you guys talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? Unbelievable. Like, the narrative that these men are trying to create as if Ryan was talking, he's going to kill this man because he knew he had Osterine in his system or the 19 Norandrolone in his system. I finally got that word right, by the way. I've messed that word up in like 3 of my last videos. But straight up, you're the first one to say it. You know it. Come on now. So let's stop acting. This is what I mean about boxing and what's going on with it, right? This ain't the WWE. This is real life, right? There is no narrative. There's no story plot, right? Where two guys are coming in and there's a story behind it. And at the end of the fight, you know, the association knows who's going to win. They've picked them. Yeah, you're gonna lose to Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know what I mean? Or you're gonna lose to the Undertaker tonight. You've been champ for too long now. It's got to happen. There has to be you understand? This ain't that. There's no narratives here. This is boxing. This is real life stuff. This is where people get hurt, right? But let's get back to the weight. We were talking about weight, right? Let's get back to the weight. Excuse me. I'm being so real with you tonight. Ain't no more. Forget about it. I'm not doing all that shit, right? You took the money. You renegotiated terms, right? Then when your boy get beat, he want to talk, he came in overweight, this, and that. here's the ironic stuff, right? When you go watch this documentary, I guess I should talk a little bit about this documentary. I'm kind of staying away from it because you can't take everything you see, literally, right? But it says a lot when you see something like this documentary. Am I saying this shit right? This documentary. When you see something like this, and it kind of, every thought you've had about this is answered, right? It's like it's there. They're showing you it. So now you gotta like say to yourself like, oh, some of this stuff might be true, and if it is true, right? If what this documentary is saying or kind of leading to, because at the end they kind of throw you a twist. I'm not gonna ruin it for y'all or them. Go watch it, right? If it is true, what they're kind of alluding to, this is a big, big problem for boxing. And I do believe it's not over with, not by a long shot. I do believe there's going to be more to come. I definitely believe, honest to God, guys, with Victor Conte involved, there's always something. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be something. This is how that man makes money. If you don't know, okay, Victor Conte is a steroid genius, right? Meaning he knows how to, whoever's in his program, right now it's Snack, right? Whoever's down with his program, right? He represents, right? And he knows how to manipulate the body with his products. That's what it is, bro. I'm not lying to you. Go look. I've been known this. Everybody been known this since Barry Bonds, since Mark McGuire, since go check it. Listen, do your homework, right? All of them guys fell victim to this. All of them. Even to Connor Ben at this point, right? I mean, it's just odd that since Devin Haney has been involved with Snack, right? And I want to say that it was 2020, 2019 he got involved with them, I think it was. I think they even mentioned it on documentary. I don't know, I'm an issue with that word today. That's crazy. I speak English. That's what I promise. So, ever since he's been involved with them, everybody, this documentary that's out right now, this documentary, I got it. I got it. This documentary, right? Whatever. I'm just saying, we didn't need to see this in order to call him the weight bully. We didn't, right? We've been saying that he is a weight bully. And we know this because we've had multiple weigh-ins where he looks at the dude and says, you're too small. You're too small. He said it to Lomachenko. He said it to George Kambosos. He said it to Regis Prograis. And to go even further back, right? I think what was his name? Diaz, little dude, little Mexican dude. He fought him, right? Diaz had, Devin Haney had like a 7-inch reach advantage on the guy. Then he had, go watch the video, I swear to God, right? And I watched that fight too. And I remember saying, this is so stupid. Like, they handpicked this guy. Like, that wasn't that's no genius needs to figure, like, you know what I mean? It's not going to take a genius to figure that out. So they picked this guy. He was what, what was he? He was like 5'6", right? Devin Haney's like 5, I don't know, 10, I think, almost 6 feet, right around there, close to 5'10". So it was a huge height advantage, huge reach advantage. And I'm sure Devin Haney came in overweight on that one too. And when I say this, right, there is the weight, the press conference, right? There's the press conference, then there's the weigh-ins. The following day, before these fighters fight, there's another weigh-in if it's in the contract. If it's in the contract, that's the words I'm choosing. You got to understand, I'm going to say it again. If that's negotiated in the contract. This time, it wasn't, right? It wasn't. With Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, that wasn't there. But if it's in the contract, that's there. All right? Mauricio Suleiman, right? had a meeting with Bill Haney on, what was that, Instagram, whatever they were on. They were both FaceTiming anyway. And Mauricio Solomon told him, that's not it. We didn't need to see the documentary to see that. We all seen that, right? He said to him, he goes, listen, man, on multiple occasions, your son has come in over the weight limit. Now, not the weigh-in weight limit, but the day after, right? So say the WBC gives you a 15% rehydration, right? You're able to, from 140, if you're 140, you get to rehydrate from 140, 15% up. Anything after that is a no-go, right? That's against the rules. And the boxing commission, the California Boxing Commission, anyway, they're the ones who voted on it. They're the ones who say, well, we won't sanction the fight. The fight's over. We're not letting it go. We're not letting these guys fight. And on multiple occasions, they allowed for that. On multiple. For Devin Haney. So, if we're going to talk about cheating, Bill Haney, Devin Haney, I'm sorry, I haven't even heard you defend yourself on this. I haven't heard anything about that. You've been real silent on that, right? Real silent on that. But your counterparts, right? The people. For some reason, I think you're just paying people to say shit. I'm gonna be real, right? Because I know other content creators that I respect and I've been watching for a long time, who have not touched on Ryan Garcia at all. All they've been doing is dogging Ryan Garcia, right? And it makes me think for a second, because then there's other content creators that I also watch a lot and respect, and they've been neutral, right? They've been kind of like myself, right? They kind of been like, you know what? I'm gonna give you the facts, and that's about it, right? If you don't like listen, matter of fact, I'm gonna say it. Like, look, Boxing Eagle. I watch Boxing Eagle all the time. I like the guy. I think he's great. He's entertaining. You should go check him out. But Boxing Eagle hasn't. I mean, although he's dealing with the Haneyacks all the time, right? They're the ones who are attacking him for saying what he says. He doesn't give you anything but the facts. He might even give you a little bit of a precognitive, like something that might occur, but he's not alluding to it as a fact, right? He gives you the facts, and then he steps off a little bit, kind of lets you know this is what he thinks is going to happen. But then I see other boxing, other creators that are just like totally dogging Ryan Garcia. And to me, when I look at that, I'm like, you know what? Do you have any proof to do that, right? And we're going to talk about that word proof too, right? Because see, after Devin Haney got his ass whooped, and then he's in the ring talking about, oh, he came in overweight after you already accepted the weight, right? You yourself, Devin Haney, said, I don't care what weight he came at. I don't care what weight he came in at. I'm going to rock him. I'm a A-class fighter. He ain't fought nobody like me. That's what you said at the weigh-ins after you weighed in. Am I lying? I don't be lying. That boy don't lie. That boy live don't lie. He don't. I don't have to do it, right? I'm just reporting what is factual. And the facts is, that's what you said. You didn't care what he came in at. All of a sudden, that narrative changed once you got your ass whooped. And, well, now you want things to be equal. The other fighters you fought with weren't equal. That wasn't equal. For you to come in at 165, right? For you to come in at 165 and Regis Prograis to come in at 155, or 156 rather, that's a 9-pound advantage. That's a 9-pound advantage. You taking advantage, right? And all your little, what do we want to call them? Gremlins, right? Do we want to call them Oompa Loompas? What do we want to call them? Minions, right? Your little Tim Bradleys, your Zab Judas, all the ones who got your back, kind of like, speaking up for you, going against Ryan Garcia, right? I haven't heard any of them talking about that. But that's cheating, ain't it? Ain't it the same thing? You just lost at your own game. And that's a fact. You lost at your own game. Now, how ironic, right? I spoke about this in the other videos. I'm going to bring it out now. Why Why did Ryan, right? And you know what? I'm gonna also talk about something else too, right after I say this. How the hell did Ryan test negative through all these vigorous testings, but on the 19th and the 21st, he tests positive for Ostarine and 19, no Angelone. Damn, I got it right earlier. You know what I'm talking about, right? But then all of a sudden, wait, hold up. All of a sudden, the 19 no Angelone isn't there anymore. Huh? What? Riddle me that again? Say that one more time. That wasn't in there, but it was in there the first time. How the hell did it get out? How? Whatever's in sample A, it's got to be in sample B, right? So let's just bypass that. Whatever. It's not in there now, right? Then there's Ostarine. Even Ryan himself, right? I love how the content creators and the rest of the world want to allude to, they want to bring up that fact that Ryan said, oh, whatever's in sample A is obviously going to be in sample B. No shit. When has it ever been any different? Anybody want to answer that for me? When has it ever been different? Do y'all realize that when they do a sample A and a sample B, it's the same goddamn sample? That means the boy pissed in a cup. They asked him, you want a sample B just in case? He says, oh yeah, I do. They took another cup and went, same sample. So it's going to be the same. Why are you faulting the boy for saying that? Why are you faulting the boy for saying that? I'll wait. Why are you faulting that boy for saying that when it's common knowledge? No scientist needs to, right? So you're trying to say, oh, see, he knew. He knew it was going to be. Of course he knows it's going to be in there. Like, yo, bro, you know how foolish you guys sound? No, I'm serious. Do you know how foolish you sound? That's dumb. Everybody knows that. And if you don't know that, then you're not a true fan of boxing. You shouldn't be commenting on it. You should step your way out the game. That's all I'm saying, right? But then there's manipulators, right? There's manipulators. There's people who want to, again, the narrative. It's the narrative. Like, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, okay? We know. We're not stupid. This is crazy. This is crazy. You want to fault the boy for saying that he knew whatever was going to be in sample A is going to be in sample B? No, yeah, no kidding. No kidding. You can't fault him for saying that. That's a fact. It's the same sample. I mean, what are we doing here? Right? So then let's just move a little further. The boy was smart. He was smart. He took a page out of Canelo Alvarez. He's good friends with Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez said, yo, calm down, relax. Let the shit play out. Right? Go do a separate testing. Right? He goes and does a separate testing. Now, I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? Because I have not found online, right? His lawyer. What I can say is this about this, right? This is gonna be important. Okay. This wasn't TMZ. As a matter of fact, was it NBC or ABC? I'm gonna get back to you on that. But this was a very, very credible source that first came out with this article. Now let's talk about the source for a second. I can see if you just heard this from some content creator trying to create mass hysteria with stupid shit that they say, right? I can see if it came from Newsbreak, credible, but right. I can see if it came from. What did I already say? TMZ, right? I can see if it came from one of them places. But this came from either, I forget, I had it on my phone. It was either ABC News or CBC or CBS News or something like that. It was one of them. Very credible sources, right? They're not going to put themselves out there on the line without having some sort of factual reference to it, right? But then let's go further. I believe the doctor's name is Dr. Krantz that Brian went to get this sample taken, his hair follicle. Right? Now, the doctor himself didn't come out and give the result. It was Ryan's lawyer who came out and gave the result. Now, here's the problem with what Ryan did, right? And I'm gonna give respect to the content creator that I also watch and have a lot of respect for. He's got a great channel himself in Blue Blood Sports. You should go check him out all the time. He's got a lot of facts. But I disagree a little bit with the way Blue Blood has gone about this Ryan Garcia thing. And you know what? He might be totally right, or he might be wrong, right? We don't have the actual result, and nobody from Haney's team was there to watch this happen, right? And he does a very, very good job at potentially debunking the hair follicle story. I'm not going to go there yet, right? I haven't seen it. I've looked online for it. I have not seen it, right? That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. If it's being talked about, like, I just want to say this, right? Guys, if someone is going to make a claim, such as I had a hair follicle test, and they're going to throw out names like Dr. Krantz is the one who did it, right? And a reputable lawyer, like Ryan's lawyer, comes out and represents that statement, right? And a reputable source like CBS or ABC News or whatever, right? Whatever credible source that is, the New York Post, right? Whatever. You kind of got to take what they're saying. I mean, not all the time, but you 99.9% of the time, you got to understand something. These people have reputations, right? So they're not going to just blurt out something because Ryan's lawyer came to the news channel or the Post with a statement that he wrote, not the actual test, but that he wrote, and said, say this because this is what happened. Nah. That's not happening like that. You know it. I know it. That news source, whoever's going to write the article, whoever's going on tonight's news to talk about it, they're going to say, you have some proof about that? Can we see it? Right? Even if the lawyer said, no, we got a strategy plan. I do have it. Look at it. Physically look at it. But you're not going to put it out there to the world right now. I can see a news channel or a post, you know what I mean, a vlog or whoever's going to report on this. I can see them saying, okay, I feel comfortable putting my name on that. I just saw it, right? Still, regardless, the mistake Ryan made was not inviting Team Haney there to watch. That's the mistake. Granted, I think it was a good idea for Ryan to do that, right? Protect yourself. He's just following boxing rules, man. Protect yourself at all times, right? I'm sorry, but it's a good reference. That's what he's doing. So you can't fault him for doing that. Canelo did the same thing, right? A bunch of boxers have tried to do the same thing when they get caught. So let's not play the game, all right? Ryan most likely got the hair follicle. And they're not going to put out some elaborate lie to look stupid. I mean, imagine if that was true. Blue, I'm sorry, I don't mean to, you know what, like you said, two men could disagree respectfully and still be, you know, I'm still a big fan of yours, actually. I actually love your channel, man. I really do. I watch it all the time. But I just disagree, right? I think that the homework you did was great. I think that the conclusion you came to was a little rough, you know what I mean? We don't know yet, right? We just don't know. We don't know. And I'm still giving you that you could be right, but I just don't think that people with names and titles as these people who are involved in this story are going to put themselves out there like that. Not for Ryan. For a dollar amount? Maybe. But to be totally wrong, like to be a total lie, like it just doesn't, the result doesn't exist. Doctor, you know, I'm sorry, I don't see professionals doing this. You know what I mean? And just because Ryan has acted unprofessional, that doesn't mean he deals with unprofessional people. He very much has professional people representing him. So, all in all, what I'm trying to say to you is, the documentary, go watch it. it's a good reference for some things, right? To give you shed a little light on what's really going on, right? Behind closed doors, you probably, for y'all who don't do your homework, you probably wouldn't have known this. For y'all who are not avid, boxing fans and watch every fight or understand the statistics of the thing, this will shed some light a little bit, right? And maybe we can start closing the gap on this separation between the two sides, because I really do feel like there is something odd going on here. And I do not think that this is over by a long shot. Like, I don't. We are going to see some shit. I can promise you that, right? Like, I can promise you that, right? And it might be, not even it might be. I think at this point, it's in the New York State Commissioner's hands, right, to make the decision of what it's going to be for Ryan, his penalty, right? And it's just odd that this campaign, this narrative that Bill Haney has done. I mean, he's even made professional. I mean, it's not like just turning on your camera on your phone and you making a statement, and on YouTube. And no, these are professionally done. I mean, there's soft music behind it, right? It's like drawing in like the attention. The camera gets a little closer, right? Like he's so like vividly into the into the act of it. I mean, you even gone as far as to say that you want to. This is how, guys, follow me, please. Bill Haney has gone even as far to take the narrative of steroid king Victor Conte, right, to take it off of him, knowing he's the steroid monster from 2003 with MLB and getting caught doing it, right? And still more, everybody knows, Bill, what are you doing? I don't even know why you would even attempt to do this in a video, but you tried to take the spotlight off of Victor Conte and put it on Floyd Mayweather? What? Bro, first of all, stupid for you to say that we know Mayweather, we know you were behind Ryan Garcia beating Devin Haney. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Do you really think a video that potentially Mayweather showed Ryan Garcia is what led to the defeat of your son? Because when I watch that video, I don't see the major quick left hand being landed like that. Right? I see your son just being pummeled by a Tank Davis, getting hit from all angles. And the fight with Ryan Garcia, he didn't mimic Tank Davis in it. He did what Ryan does. Super lightning left hand, and and super combos. And he did what Ryan does, right? The problem here is that your son fought somebody that was his actual weight. They were close in weight, close in size, close in reach. Actually, I think Ryan beats him in reach and height a little bit. But they were close in weight. The problem is his son got pillow hands. And that's why he was coming in bigger than most fighters after the day of weigh-ins, so that he could hit harder. He could guarantee himself the win. Basically, that's cheating. When you got somebody who weighs 150 pounds, and you got somebody that weighs 165 pounds, excuse me, let me repeat that. When you got like a Regis Prograis who's coming in at 156, and then you got Devin Haney who's coming in at 165, 156 to 165, that's a 9-point difference. That's a 9-pound difference. So the punch is going to be harder, which is crazy because he still didn't knock out Regis Prograis. I don't know, right? Like, yo, I'm not making this up. Go do your homework. It's crazy that you would make a video to take the shine off of Victor Conte being a cheater, because people are starting to expose him yet again in this decade. He was a cheater in the last decade. He's a cheater in this decade. And people are trying to expose him again for it. And you want to take the light off of him. And I know why you want to do it, right? And put it on Mayweather. But Mayweather wasn't even in. According to the sources, he's in Dubai, stuck. So where did Mayweather have anything to play with this? Do you see what I'm talking about? Right? So you want to take the light off of Victor Conte so that it doesn't shine also on your son. Right? Because that's what's going to happen, Bill. The walls are closing in. That's true. Right? It's happening. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Why did the head of the New York Commission, right? This is crazy. The New York Boxing Commission quit. Why did she quit? She just quit out of nowhere after releasing the statement from VADA, after releasing that. What was it? May 30, what was it? It was like, I think it was like what, May 31st? May 1st? May 1st, right? It was May 1st, 11 days after the fight, that she released that statement. And after she released that statement, she immediately quit. Listen, man, like I told you before, the word coincidence, right? I believe in one coincidence. Yeah, that can happen, sure. Even that, I'm a little skeptical about. But when there's coincidence, nah, bro. I'm sorry, Brody. Nah. And I'm not even cooking. I'm not even cooking right now. These are facts. I don't have to cook on this shit. Like, these are just things that you can just go research yourself if you got the time and you want to put the work in, and what you should, right? If you're going to have a belief system about something, you should, right? I mean, that just makes sense all in all, don't it? So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, you can try to do that bullshit all you want. Do your commercials or whatever, your little short films about Ryan Garcia and Mayweather being the steroid, if he was the middleman for the steroids. Where? Who? How does that even, where does anybody get that? Bro, where does anybody even put that together? Like, what connection does Mayweather have with steroids? Anywhere. Where are they gonna reference that? I'll wait, bro. I mean, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, where? But we can do that with you, your son, and Victor Conte. We can do that. And I love how Victor Conte, right? I didn't actually see that when I saw it in the documentary, but I love how Victor Conte says, "Oh, the burden of proof is on Ryan Garcia. I don't care if somebody snuck in your room and put a needle in your toothpaste." Here's where the documentary gets really, like, I actually forgot about this one. I saw it and it didn't dawn on me. I don't know why it didn't at the time. When we saw Devin Haney's younger brother, only, what was it, only 3 days or whatever it was, or 3 or 4 days after the fight, where he has this vision, right? Allah, right? First of all, I'm going to tell you something, Haney family. Don't be disrespecting. I'm going to be dead real with you, right? I'm a valid, avid Muslim, right? And there's some mistakes I make, right, that I pray to be forgiven for, right? But do not play with Allah's name, bro, right? Do not play with what you say he's doing with you, right? Your son said he got a vision. Allah told him. I'm going to get a little bit religious with you right now, right? Allah told him, he said, right? Told him in multiple dreams that Ryan Garcia was going to test positive for a banned substance. Listen, the only man on earth that Allah has ever spoken to, according to the Quran, the Holy Quran, is Muhammad himself. You understand what I'm saying to you? So for your son to say that, and Muhammad claims to be the seal of prophets, do you understand that? If you're a Muslim, then you know that what I'm saying to you is 1,000% true. And there should be no prophets after that. So why would Allah speak to your son? I don't even know how old that kid is, what, 13, 14, 15? Why would he speak to your son and say that? That's a big problem, don't you think? I'll wait for you to answer that while I take a puff of my vape here. Good. Try to wiggle your way out of that one. Go ahead, Haniacs. Try to wiggle your way out of that one. How did this little boy, I'm gonna say it again. How the hell did this little boy know that Ryan Garcia was going to test positive for a banned substance? Allah told him. See, I don't think you should, honest to God, after seeing that, after hearing that, I think you need to ask for forgiveness right away, brother. I think you need to get down on your knees. I think you need to bow your head to the floor. First go wash your hands up to your elbows. Wash your feet and ankles, right? Wash your head. Rinse inside your nose and mouth and ears before you even speak to my God, right? With respect. Make sure you do all that, okay? And pray for forgiveness, because that's an outright lie. Allah's not speaking to your son. I'm sorry. It's not happening. You should have thought about that. And once it's online, it's online. And that's what I can say I got out of the documentary, that I was like, oh, this is a big problem. This is a big, big problem. In fact, I think that's a turning point in a game. What that little boy did sabotaged whatever y'all were trying to do. And that's going to come out. Because there ain't no way anybody from VADA is talking to your son. Not anybody from WADA is talking to your son. Not anybody from the New York State Commission, New York Boxing Commission is talking to your son. They might talk to Devin. They might talk to you, Bill. But not your younger son. Okay? And I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Y'all live in the same house, right? So is there a chance that maybe your son overheard a conversation that was happening with you, Bill, or Devin? Is that a possibility? You know, also that documentary points out something very, and you know what's funny? I wish my wife was down here right now, right? She's upstairs sleeping. But it's funny that when me and her watched that interview on ESPN, SportsCenter, whatever it was, she said he looks different. He's not talking the same. He looks different. There's something about him's off. I looked at him. I said the same thing. I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. My wife, she don't even watch boxing like that. She just started watching boxing when I got her into it. So how does somebody who's not even interested in the sport like that and just kind of saw a couple fights, and she saw you, weight draining, and then saw you normal, she saw you in multiple fights, right? She saw you after. She saw you basically in a lot of content. And in that documentary, they kind of allude to something that we missed. Devin, you looked a lot bigger. Way bigger. I mean, you looked beefy. Your face, all of it, looked pretty beefy just days after the fight, right? Now, I know what people are going to say. Oh, yeah, well, Ryan tuned in on him good, man. I mean, his face was all bubbled up and no, that's not what I'm talking about, right? You didn't have the black eye, right? Your eye wasn't poofy, you were a lot bigger. And so everybody's questioning that now too, right? I mean, look at Ryan. Ryan's the same days after it, like, right? When you see the same footage on the same day that you went out and quickly did that's another thing. That interview you did, I keep bringing it up. It was in my other podcast. You didn't say nothing. You were totally hiding after you got your ass whooped. As soon as you heard that the sample was positive, you came out and did your narrative right away. You started creating the narrative right away. And that was a mistake. And I know why you did it, right? Because you wanted your Haney fans, the Haneyacks, right, to basically buy into this, right? But you chose some real iffy words. You said you said, why would he admit it? Does any man who cheats admit it? Well, why don't you admit right now that you've been the weight bully and you've been cheating this whole time, coming in overweight? Admit that. Why don't you admit that? I'll wait. Because it is true that's what you've been doing. That's what you've been doing. If we're going to sit here, right, if you're going to sit here and talk about Ryan coming in 3 pounds overweight that he paid you for to accept, and you accept and then renegotiated terms, but yet you can come in on fight night, you know, for like 9 pounds over. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, bro? Stop it. Stop the rhetoric. Like this is crazy. This is crazy. You doing some shit and then you trying to point the finger so everybody could look the other way. Nah, brother, you ain't right. You ain't right. And I'm sorry, and everybody else who's down with you, who I had a lot of respect for, Zab Judah. I love Zab Judah, man. I watched that dude my whole life. Zab Judah from Brooklyn. I mean, I was shocked when Kastazu knocked him out, man. I almost cried. I was like, damn, I didn't expect that at all. So I have a lot of respect for who's around you. I'm just surprised that they're really just not doing their homework on this. Or maybe there is a real narrative that these people are benefiting from. I don't know. I can't call it. But it's crazy how divided the world is on this, and no one, you're just listening to the content. You really haven't done the homework yourself. You know what? Actually, before I get into anything else, I saw Paulie Malignaggi and Chris Algieri on a show, and I forget the name of that show. I actually sponsored to it because I thought it was a great conversation they had. Even them, who were proved, I think, if I remember the content correctly, Paulie Malignaggi goes into a very scientific explanation as to why Ryan's sample was positive, but wasn't able to be detected throughout the weeks of rigorous testing that he went through. And I thought it was very interesting, and I meant to do some research on that before I even talk about this, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. What he said was, and I want to remember this correctly, what he said was that during the training, right, you're drinking a lot of water, you're sweating a lot of water, which kind of, I don't know, scientifically, he said this was scientific. I want to make sense of this. He said that of course he's going to test negative because there was a lot of fluid in the system. But as you're draining your weight, getting closer to the fight, right? Like on at the weigh-ins, press conference, right? The weigh-ins, you're drained almost so much that you don't have those fluids in you like that. So the test is and these were urine screens, by the way. So I guess whatever's left in your system, the way he was explaining it, you're getting the last little bits of it, and that's why there's billionth or 0.6 billionth of a gram in his system, because otherwise, it really honestly, it made sense, but it didn't. He did a great job of making it make sense, but then I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. Listen, man, I'm a guy who's been in trouble in the past. I've had to take urine screens. I've had to give hair follicles. And I'm going to tell you what, and Blue Blood did a good job of doing some research on this too, which is why I'm just like, I'm so conflicted as to, I don't know, I don't even want to say that, but Blue actually read something about hair follicles, that not everything comes out in those, which in the past I've heard the exact opposite, but he pulled out some very credible wording from wherever, and he put it up for everybody to see while he read it. And what it basically says is, yes, hair follicles go back about 3 months, but they don't supersede urine screens. Now, I don't know. Again, I'm somebody, right? Like if you're gonna put out a post or something that someone wrote, right? If you're gonna reference something, what I like to do, and what I think everybody should do, is go find a source to what they're reading or what they're saying to you, right? That's it's the only way to make sense of what's actually being said. Because, and I didn't do that, and I want to do that if I'm going to keep doing videos about this, and of course I am, because it's just not stopping, and you know what, it's good. It's good because I want to get to the bottom of it. At this point, you know what, I was enjoying talking about it, because it was, at the moment, it was like, wow, this is exciting, this is crazy, this is the biggest thing in sports since the baseball problem with Victor Conte and the steroid problem, right? This is the biggest thing in sports right now. Everybody's talking about it. So it's exciting to talk about. But now I'm involved because I actually want justice for the truth. And what it seems like to me, right, is that, again, the world is divided on it. You got people who are doing real research to discredit whatever Ryan's saying. And you got Ryan doing some great defense work on trying to prove that this is a scandal, right? I am, again, I'm a little frustrated with what I'm seeing, and I'm hearing from some of the people I respect, right, and I watch, but then I'm also kind of confused about what is actually going on, right, on Ryan's side too, because it's like, bro, why didn't you have somebody from Devin Haney? If he would have had somebody from Devin Haney's team there when they did this hair follicle thing, this thing would be over, the lid would be blown off on this, and there'd be a big, big problem. But the fact that Ryan didn't have somebody from Haney's team there when he did the hair follicle leaves an open discussion to be made about the problem. He just didn't have nobody there. So now this guy, Blue Blood Sports, who's very good at what he does and has really good connections in the sport, is discrediting you, saying, well, you didn't have nobody there, one. Two, the doctor didn't come out and say it. Three, there's a whole mess of shit he's made a lot of sense of, right? But I still want the source to that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure if I missed it, maybe he said it in his, he's very good. Maybe he said it in his upload, but I want to know. I want to know, because as far as I'm understanding, Blue, I've had hair follicles tested in the past. I'm somebody who's had issues in the past. I've had to prove some things. And whenever you were providing urine screens or even mouth swabs, we ain't even talk about that. But these agencies would had rather you give a hair follicle because it goes back 3 months and they're pretty damn accurate. So wherever you got that from, again, I respect your work, and you dig deep, man. And I'm sure you seem like a very credible guy, and I think you want the truth to come out too. So I'm not gonna place you on the Haney side or whatever. It just seems odd to me that you're not at least saying anything good about Ryan. I mean, this hair follicle thing was a big turnaround. It was a big turnaround in the story, and I don't know why people are going against it. If anything, I want to know now. Now I want to know if that is true, and I do believe that there's some truth to it. If not it being completely true, I just want the result. I want to see the result. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Like, break out the result, send it to the New York State Commission, and then let's really see what the penalty is going to be. Because if his hair follicle says negative, this is as far as I understand. You did some research, you know what I mean? Like, there might be some other things to it more in depth, and I don't want to go that deep into it. But actually, I do want to go that deep into it. I want to learn about that, actually. But historically, hair follicles are more accepted by agencies such as DCF, such as any judicial court system, right? Such as what was the other one for juvenile court systems, probation officers, right? They'll take a hair follicle over a urine screen all day because you could tamper with a urine screen very simply. So I don't know. This is really, really, like, this story has blown over so much that I don't see an end to it at the moment. Like, we are at the point where sample B, we were supposed to get a result on the 22nd. They tell us that it could take 7 business days to even 3 weeks to get a result. And then the next day, just like that, we got a result. I'm sorry. I gotta ask what the hell's going on here. It's just odd, man. Like there's nothing. This situation, I gotta be real. I have a good sense of a situation when I look at it. Now I'm not in that situation, so it's a little harder to sense it, right? But I'm pretty good at calling a spade a spade. I'm pretty good at having a feeling and saying something don't seem right. Just don't seem right. And I'm telling you right now, I'm getting that feeling. Something don't seem right. That's all I'm saying. Look, Ryan could have had it in the system. We're talking about again. I don't condone steroids in any sport. I don't condone steroids. If you're playing professionally, it should be an even kill, But listen, both sides. I don't even know. Devin Haney, you definitely ain't playing like fair. So I don't even want to hear the crying, right? But I got to be honest with you, man. There's no way this kid tested negative for weeks, and then at the date before the fight, this kid just says, let me get a Tremboloni sandwich, let me get an Austrian drink, right? Let me get an Austrian Kool-Aid, and even if he did that, the level of what you found in his system is not even nowhere close to what was needed for him to be effective in the fight. Don't tell me scientifically nothing. You're not a scientist. And you know what? Most of you people who are talking about the steroids probably never did steroids. So you don't know what the hell you're talking about. On the other hand, I did. And I know. And I didn't even want to say that, but I know for a fact, I don't give a shit what you say. That billionth of a gram or 0.6 billionth of a gram, even if it was a gram, it ain't gonna amount to nothing he can do in that ring that's any extra by taking it a day before. Understand the words I just said. By taking it a day before. No way. It's not, steroids aren't like miracle juice. It doesn't just work like that. Like, oh shit, I drank it. It don't work like that. I'm sorry. Y'all are stupid. That's crazy. Like straight up. It don't work that way. So don't tell me the Austrian, no man, you got your ass whooped because you got your ass whooped. And you know what's funny? I actually voted, I rooted for you. I chose you to win, Devin. So you can't say I'm none of you guys, not the Haneyans, not Devin Haney, not Bill Haney, not anybody, not Zab Judah. Nobody can say, oh, Manny, live and direct thinks, he's against us. He's talking all that shit. He's against our, no. I actually thought you were going to win. What happened in that fight was a complete surprise and shock to me. But what's even more shocking is the way the Haney team is handling this. It's kind of weird. It's wild. Like it's you're asking for a complete ban? I mean, forever? How dare you? You're dealing with a guy who got caught dealing steroids to the entire MLB almost basically. And he made a statement to say it's not cheating. It's not cheating if everybody's doing it. What? But you want Ryan, this is his first offense, with a billionth or 0.6 of a billionth of a gram in his system. You want him to get banned for life. But Victor Conta, you want to continue doing business with. Now, riddle me that. I don't know. Does that make sense to anybody that's watching right now? You can comment and tell me, yo, bro, you're a complete wacko. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, live and direct. You can say that to me if you really feel that way, but if you say that to me, understand, I'm gonna approach you on it. I'm gonna have a conversation with you about that. I want you to tell me why logically Bill Haney's okay with doing business with a known steroid king, right? Guilty, right? But Ryan Garcia, who's not at this point guilty, that we don't know yet. We're still, even with the sample B, now he's got a hair follicle that says negative. Look, we don't know what's going to come of this. We don't know what the boxing commission is going to do. I'll tell you what. Historically, I bet you they don't. I bet you this kid is such a star, right? He's got so much star power and money earning that hell no, he probably get a 3-month ban, right? Especially if he can prove where it came from. We don't even know about that yet, right? There's an investigation. You bozo, Bill Haney. It's an investigation. Stop trying to sway the masses with your videos about whether this dude, he's guilty and Mayweather's the middleman for it. And oh man, you look silly out there. Straight up, man. If I'm your son, I'm telling you to fall back. Like you're making us look bad, our brand and everything. Like stop it. Stop it. Take your loss like a man. Regis Prograis knows about your shit. He spoke about it publicly. He knows you came in overweight. He said it. Word for word, he said it. That's my word, he said that too. He said it. He was like, oh, no, I know he cheated. I know he came in over the weight. But you know what? I took my lick like a man. I know that happened. Actually, I don't think you should take your lick like a man. That he cheated. If that's against your contractual agreement, Regis, go contest that. You lost your title to him when he came in. What was it? I don't even know. It was like 9. It was 9 pounds heavier. Whatever that equals out to be in percentage. That's against your contractual agreement. So listen, man. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Like I'm sorry. You guys even got me cussing on here. That's boy. That's how upset you got me. No bullshit. Don't make me slam one of these into you, man. I'm telling you, man. Y'all better watch yourselves, man. Take care of that, man. What's wrong with you? Like, you guys are taking this narrative thing to a whole nother level, man. Like, take your lick like a man. Go back, dust yourself off, train, find out what you did wrong, come back in this ring and fight. Like Miguel Cotto did, right? Man, that was real cheating. That was like, what? When Margarito put them hard shells in his shit and busted up Miguel Cotto like that, it took a couple years for him to come back and fight him again, but he did, and he whooped that ass. That's how you come back from that. I don't want to hear this crybaby, you should ban him. You should ban him from the sport. He's no good for the sport. No cheaters ever prosper when you're a cheater yourself. I'm sorry. Sorry, that's what it is, bro. I don't care. You can say what you want to say. I hope you do. I swear I hope you do. Your card's pulled. I was going to say something else, but your card's pulled, boy. That's what it is. That's what it is, bro. And I'm sorry. Like, I'm this shit is just, it's dragged out so long. I thought we were going to be done talking about this. I really, at this point, I didn't think to myself that we were going to continue to see this, hear this, or whatever. But we're deep. We're deep, and it's not going to end anytime soon. It really isn't. Anyway, man, that's what I have for you. Shout out to the Boston Celtics for going 3-0 on the Pacers. I don't know if that's going to happen in the finals, man. I think it's going to be Dallas and Boston. If I'm being truthful, I think it's going to be Dallas and Boston. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I love you guys. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment if you like the content. Love you. See you next time.